So our first exercise today is the straight leg march. So with the straight leg march, I want you to start off in a nice good posture. Head is up, chest is up, and you're just gonna kick that leg forward as much as you can. And then you're gonna notice I'm gonna increase the speed now. So it should look like this. And my opposite arm from my opposite leg is always moving. I'm trying to get a nice dynamic stretch in the back of my leg here, but other things of note, I'm maintaining good posture. And my knees aren't coming in, and I'm not swaying side to side. I'm staying on that same spot in your living room or wherever you're doing this. So keep going, keep doing those marches side to side. You guys are doing great. Chest up, and as I kick forward, right, I don't want my chest to come forward. It's not about how high you get your leg. We're just getting your body moving. You'll see improvements as you do this from week to week. All right, so after you finish that single leg march, the next exercise we're going to go into is a position on the ground. So we're gonna do some rotations for our back. So what I want you to do is keep your knees in line with your hips, right? They're not touching or they're not too wide. You should feel comfortable with this position. Your hands are gonna be underneath your shoulders, right? We call this a tabletop position. And what I want you to do is touch the back of your head, and the elbow is going to come in, and then you're going to turn out. So my head is following my elbow as I'm rotating through my body here. And what's important here, to go back to our theme of the day, the middle part of our body, we need this to be nice and stable and strong. Keep going. Switch on over to the other arm. I'm just showing you another view now. So if you notice, I'm keeping this nice and strong as I'm rotating through my back. My hips aren't waving side to side. I really want to create stability here so I could get the best benefit from this exercise, rotating through my back. So you're going to stay on the ground for this next exercise. It's the high plank. I love planks for the middle part of our body, right? It really starts from there. Even though you start to feel tired with your arms, you should be focusing here. So again, similar position. We go from that tabletop where our hands are underneath our shoulders. Our legs are about hip width. And almost as if you were going to do a push-up, and you're just holding this position, right? And the middle part of our body comes into play here, because if you're not using it, you're going to go into a TP position here, I like to call it, or you may sag too much, right? So the focus of this exercise is really get the middle part of our body working. Make believe a wave is going to come, push you, and you have to resist. You have to hold that position. Don't move. You guys are doing great. Keep holding it. And just like all these exercises, keep holding it. I'm just talking to you. You're going to make sure you're focusing on your breathing. You're inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. All right? And good job. Now we could all take a break from that and go to a standing position. So this next exercise is a single leg forward T. So again, the middle part of our body, really important here. It controls our hips. If our hips are all over the place, we're not going to be able to balance. So start on the right leg, and then lean forward a little bit, having good control of our body. Okay, I'll get a side view for you all. And we notice as I'm doing this, my chest is trying to become parallel with the ground. I'm not trying to get my head or my hand to the ground. Not the focus here. I want you putting your hands on your hips as you're doing this. Working on balance and controlling the middle part of our body. Our hips shouldn't be shifting side to side or falling back too much, right? Hold this position. Come forward, get our chest parallel, and back up nice and slowly. Make sure you give each other a good amount of time on each. And just from the front view, you can see here, go to a nice good standing position, and then I get to that parallel chest position. Okay, really good movement there. Next one is a squat. All right, we may be familiar with this exercise, but now we want to perfect it. So to start off with the squat, our feet are about hip width. We're going to place our hands in front of us. And what I want you to do, and we could even use a chair as a cue, you want to drop your hips back as if you were going to tap that chair. That's a good depth. And then stand up nice and tall. Okay, let's look at that from the side here. So imagine the chair is behind me, and you just want to tap the chair and come back up. And look at the pace I'm doing it at, right? Concentrating on getting the depth. That's called how low we get. And then standing up nice and tall. Another thing, couple of things to note, keep going, keep doing your squats. As I'm squatting, my head is up. My knees are up, are pointing forward. If you find yourself pointing your knees in like this, make sure they're out, and then start again. And we're not really trying to get too low. Like I told you, the chair depth is great. So after those squats, we're gonna go into the double leg heel raise. So again, pick a spot on the ground and in front of you to concentrate for balance. And what I want you to do is hands on your hips, just go up on your toes and then drop your heels back down to the ground. Up on your toes and heels back down to the ground. So just from the side here, so you can see how high my feet are getting off the ground. 1, 2, and down. A couple of things to note with the heel raise is we don't want to lean forward. We want to keep that nice tall posture, looking in front of us, chest up. And then also look at my feet. Am I rolling out to one side? Am I rolling onto my pinkies? Am I able to evenly distribute my weight throughout my foot, going through the front of my foot to the back of my foot? Front of my foot, transferring my weight to the back. And this is exactly the good pace you should be working at. We don't want to rush through these. The next exercise we're going to do is forward and backwards jumps. So again, using a line on the ground as a reference, maybe your favorite textbook or a pillow, we're going to be jumping up and over that line or that item. So again, starting off nice and strong here, our hips are going to go back, hands are going to go back, and we're just going to hop over and land nice and softly. Then we're going to hop backwards, up and over. When you hop backwards, make sure you know the height of that item, right? We want to make sure we're clearing it. Up and over and back. And as you get comfortable, then we can increase the speed. Maybe you could get a little bit higher. Maybe put 2 books on there and work for the whole time. Keep doing it. You guys are doing great. Drop those hips back. Make sure the chest is up, head is up. As you get tired, I don't want you to get sloppy with your form. Remember what we're trying to accomplish here. We want to do the exercises right, and we also want to have fun. Next exercise we're going to do is a single leg hop forward to back. So right there, you were just doing the double leg, and you've perfected that. You're a master now. We're going to go single leg hops. So this, I would recommend just using a line on the ground to start. Same concepts. Hips back. This is nice and strong, so we're not going side to side. And then you're going to hop over the line, pause, hop back over the line. Keep doing that at this pace. Then make sure you switch. Pushing off the balls of our feet, landing nice and softly. And one thing I want you to also notice, I'm not moving side to side. You're able to see me right in front of you this whole time. I look like a statue when I land. And that means I'm having good control of the middle part of my body. All right? So you guys are doing great so far. Make sure you're working those single leg hops. If you're doing 10 on the right, make sure you're doing 10 on the left. Keep count throughout this whole exercise. The next exercise we're gonna do is the chop and stop. So the chop and stop is a good approach to slowing our body down and then changing direction. So here, small space again. You're running, chop, 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 and stop, okay? Looks like our double leg squat we were doing, right? Dropping our hips back, keeping our good posture and our alignment here, and go. Chop, 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 hold, good. Ready, let's do it together, and go. Chop, 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 hips back. Good, let's keep this pace, come on. We're almost towards the end of the program now, and you guys should be working, sweating a little bit. Let's keep going. Ready, go. Chop, 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 hips back. Freeze for a second, and then get right back and ready to go. Ready, go. Good. I'm proud of you all. Make sure you're not hitting anything while we're doing this. Good. So, really good movement, especially when we're gonna get back to our sports and playing again. You need to know how to slow down and to get into the next position. So our next exercise is a jog in place with a pause. You guys are doing great. This is the last one. So picking that spot and looking straight ahead on a point on a wall. And I want you to just start by getting your knees up, get your arms moving, and then I want you to hold. So hold on one leg, all right? The opposite arm should be up from the opposite leg. We're really looking at the running form here. Also, is our torso, are we side to side or leaning forward too much? Have good control here. Ready, and go. Start jogging, keep jogging. And when I say pause, I want you to pause on the left leg now. We just paused it on the right leg. Ready, pause. Hold it there. Again, same thing. Let's take note. How does our body look? All right, let's squeeze another one in there. Ready, and go. I'll let you pick the leg that we stop on now for the pause. Ready, and pause. Good. All right, guys, you all did a good job. You kept up with me. Maybe you got me a little more tired than I thought, but I hope to see you in another class, and I hope you're enjoying the content.